Hello, this is Liz with Crafty Devotion. Welcome to my craft room. This is Shabby Chic on a budget. We'll be learning how to make these for just $1 and your favorite button. I did come up with several designs. I was using lavender. This is cotton fabric. And cotton fabric works very different than the previous fabric we used where we can melt it. We will be doing no melting at all. And we will be making these. And we might be making them in different colors, but I just wanted to see how far I could get with one piece of fabric. Okay, I'd like you to go to your local Walmart. In their fabric departments, they have a shelf with what they call fat quarters. And the prices do range. They range from, I think, $1 or $2 for a fat quarter. But the fat quarters that I found for 99 cents, I looked online actually to verify this, were 99 cents, and the size of the fabric is approximately half a yard of fabric. So we can do a lot. See, did you see all the purple ones I made? I made them with all one fat quarter. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 flowers for $1. I used another thing, which I want to show you, that I want you to go into your closet, into your linen closet, and I want you to look to see if you have a flat sheet. I used this flat sheet, and that's how I got two colors, white and lavender. And I used the same flat sheet for this one. But look at the colors, how different. What did I do with my flat sheet? I just used coffee to dye my fabric, so it gave it that tattered, old-fashioned look. You can use one sheet. By dyeing it, you end up with two fabrics. And it's a lot of fabric, so you can use it to help you be more versatile. You can also look for maybe a bed skirt. Look at this bed skirt. This brand new bed skirt, what does it have on it? It has lace. I'm not going to put lace in this one, but I did want to mention that to you. Because sometimes bed skirts have cotton fabric on them. Fat quarters that I had, I didn't like them, so I'm choosing my own. This one I found at a thrift store haul. I shared that with you. I'll pin it right up in the upper right corner. You'll see like a little question mark. First it'll come across the screen, and then you can just hover over it and it'll show you that link. But I share how much I paid for this. But I want to show you what I did. Okay, so I cut this into the correct size, but I also did this to it. I also changed the color. So now I can use both this coffee dyed, tea dyed one with tea dyed one, and it'll give it a different look. See how white this is? This will give it a very shabby chic type of a look with the white sheet, and this one will give it that tattered, older look. So first thing I want you to do is get your fat quarter, and I want you to notice that usually there's one sealed edge that has little bumps in it where it was run through the machine, and then it usually has a raw edge, and it has two sealed edges, one on each side, which is the length of the fabric. What I want you to do on that sealed edge is I want you to cut it about a ½ inch like this, and then I want you to just tear it off. This is going to be part of the dangles that we hang down. I don't want you to waste your fabric. I found that I was wasting it the first time I experimented. And I don't want you to waste it. So here you go. This is going to be one of our ribbons that we use at the bottom. Do a snip at about 4 inches. There's a snip, okay? Then move your ruler. Do another snip at about 3 inches. What you are doing is you're going to be preparing your fabric to make the flowers. Now, another strip at about 2.5. Now, this is not exact. I don't ever do it like exact. I'm measuring for your benefit. I kind of usually just guess. So that's about 2.5. And that's because I use different sizes of fabric when I make these. So then you just tear it off. So now you have an 18-inch long. Realize that when you're buying fabric, You can get the fat quarter for 99 cents, and if it's a half yard, that means you normally would have paid $2 a yard, right? So if you go and you look at the fabric, and the fabric is $5 a yard, and you purchase half a yard to do this project, that means you paid $2.50 a year for the half yard. So here we go. Here's my fabric. This one, since I think I'm going to go ahead and do this inside 3 inches and this side about 4 inches or 4.5. So I'm going to choose 4.5 inches for this one. So here I go. Or the other way you can measure is you could measure your inside one. There. See, that's the 3-inch one, and I could say, okay, well, I want about 1/2 inch there, and I want a 1/2 inch there. So that way you can decide, and I say, oh, maybe a little more. And I'll use that to do it, but let's see how big that became. Yep, it's 4 inches. You fold it in half and gluing it. I will be fast forwarding a lot of this video, so the next step that I do, since it takes a while, I will fast forward. Trim approximately 1/4 inch, and again I will place a card up above on the upper right that shows you which video I have that will show you how to do this. The only difference is that I showed you the step here that I don't show you there, which was gluing it. There we go. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to look, see, I accidentally cut it like I told you, so I knew I'd give you that opportunity to see. Don't worry if that happens. I'll show you what to do. Now the next thing I do with my thing is, at this point is when I shabby it up. And I shabby it up this way. The reason I do it before, I've seen other videos where they do it after they finish the flower, is because I found that I like this technique. I always do things my way. I get inspired by I've been inspired by many of the ladies on YouTube, and then I just take it and I make it my own. And since I grew up very poor, I learned from my mother how to recycle and save things, and I love that. That's what I think is a big part of my idea of shabby chic. Being able to take something old, repurpose it, or take what you have and make something with it. Plus, I do love purchasing a lot of the new stuff, but I can't always. So if you're interested in trading new things for some of the things I have, or even some of my finished flowers, I would love that. So, and look how nice and shabby that got. See, look at this one. Nice and shabby. You can still shabby it up after too, but that's what I do. Okay, the next thing is for this one. Let's take this, and I'm going to do the puff flower with it. And all you do is, with the piece that came off, is that where you were rolling, where you ended, that's just where you add it. It's so forgiving. Just add it right there and keep on going. That simple. So which one do you want me to make next? They'll look so different using different fabrics. Each one of these will look different. You can see I used a folded technique there. Some of these I use a la Liz technique, and some of them I use other techniques for making flowers, and I add my own twist to them. I always like twisting things. Right now last time we used one fabric, this time we're using two fabrics. One fabric that we paid $1 for, and another fabric that we went in and found new, unused in our linen closets. And you would, if I were you, I would first find the unused thing in your linen closet. Then you can decide on your fat quarter if you're going to go purchase a fat quarter, because then you can make a choice of something that will go well with what you're purchasing. Okay, see how beautiful and fluffy. Now this is a beautiful flower just all on its own, and it could get fluffied up a little, shabby it up a little bit more, but it's just beautiful all on its own. But now we're going to add, I'm just going to attach this over. See? So if you would want to, you can take another piece of this fabric and make this just larger. So I chose to make it look tattered and old. I'm going to give it that tattered look. That was my choice, but I can certainly use the same fabric and make it look elegant. So now that's a shabbied up flower. Now with this fabric, I think that white or the tea dyed colored will go well with it. So, okay, here's my selection of a few buttons that I put together to put in the middle, in the center. This one I found, and I have about a dozen of these, and I did put one of these buttons in the D-stash that I have out there. So because I really loved it. It's plastic. I found them for 10 cents each. And hopefully when I go back, I got all the ones I could find, so, because I really liked them. So you can experiment now. Decide which button do I like? Which look? And actually this one goes very well. Why does it go well? Because it takes on the colors, a little bit of the color of the outer fabric that we used. So this, I really believe this fabric would look wonderful. This actually looks well too. It's a vintage gold button, see? It's actually got some wear on it. And then this is just a black one. But I know that I want to use this one because I love the way it brings the color out of the fabric, but it still has almost like a pearl look to it. I love that. Okay, so you, right at this point, before you attach that on, you can actually shabby it up even more. Just shabby it up more if you want. You can fluff up these flowers. If you notice, like, say all of these are in line with each other, well, go like this. Go every opposite one and form your flower. You don't have to leave it just sitting like that. Almost every person who I've seen do a shabby chic flower, they do have to form it a little bit. Even when I make crochet flowers or doily flowers, I need to also do the same thing. I kind of have to form them and shape them so that it sits the way I want it to sit. So there you go. All shabbied up. Let me add some glue. And we are done with our Shabby Chic Tattered Puff Flower. This is Liz with Crafty Devotion. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and you were inspired to make something new today. Also, please comment and share my videos with your friends. Your sharing and commenting on my videos really helps my ratings, and in order for me to continue sharing things with you, I really do need to build my viewership. See you next time.